This is Sean.
This is Kevin.
And this is the One Other Thing, Season 2, Episode 4, my friend.
How do you keep track of that?
I write it down.
Jeez.
It's radical. I just noticed you have something that I don't, and this is just such a disgusting admission, and I love to start the show with it. Why not?
Yeah.
I've cut my fingernails like 3 times in my life.
Well, me too.
Oh, really? You have like really long nails now? Though that's what made me come to that realization. I didn't plan on starting the show with I bite my nails.
I haven't been nervous lately. But these aren't evenly cut.
I haven't been nervous. So you actually bite your nails when you're nervous?
Oh, yeah. It's a nervous habit.
I might do that too. The problem is I'm always nervous.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. And it's really hard when I have to do my toes.
That's great. That's great. Well, fans, friends, welcome back. Those of you just joining us, I can't summarize it any better than what we just did there.
That is what the show is about right there.
That pretty much sums it up, yeah. But what a nasty, nasty habit.
It is nasty. There's worse.
There's without a doubt, yeah. Boy, did you picture Willy Wonka when you said it? Because
I know of a worse one.
Just anytime words get similar in that order to that, I just picture Willy Wonka. But I actually have a crack in my jaw from biting my nails.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about? Like sometimes my jaw will just make this cracking sound. It sounds like it hurts. It has no sensation.
Are you sure you didn't bite in a bone?
Yeah, right? Well, it has no sensation. And I asked my dentist one day, I'm like, he's like, you got a crack in your jaw. You bite your nails, right? And I'm like, oh, yeah, entirely. He's like, yeah, that's horrible. You got to stop. And I'm like, yeah. Okay, yeah, right when I quit smoking.
Yeah.
And, but I said, what do you do about that? And he says, nothing. You listen to the crack in your jaw periodically. I'm like, oh, okay, I can do that. I'm your man.
There you go. Yeah, I can live with that.
So it's been a little while. So sorry for the extra sporadic schedule. Those of you that are repeat listeners, again, welcome back. Love having you on.
Thank you.
And well, it's been crazy, again, falling apart. But in this particular instance, last Tuesday, was it for you? You got the second dose of the vaccine?
Yep.
The COVID vaccine?
I got the proof right here.
That's right. You are authentic.
Yeah, I can wear it as a lanyard now.
And I got mine Wednesday afternoon. So, we just weren't taking any chances, basically. Said, all in all, we don't know how we're going to feel after this thing, so better just... I took off of work. I didn't even kid around. Well, I took Thursday off of work, and I'm like, well, if you're taking Thursday.
I was dragging. My arm hurt a bit. I was dragging a bit, and and ended up playing video games for 5 days straight.
It was freaking fantastic. I'm not even kidding. It was wonderful.
It was like every day video games.
It was a thing of beauty. So yeah, Kevin was off basically all of last week, and I had Thursday, Friday. So we took advantage of Thursday and Friday for certain.
Yeah. Definitely.
It was good times.
We got levels.
We sure did. So we'll get to that. But the vaccine, I just wanted to talk a little bit about it. I know, believe me, I would not call myself a conspiracy theorist by any measure.
Yep.
But I had concerns about the speed at which the vaccine was released. No question about it. And likewise, when they go and they give you the vaccine, they tell you flat out. They basically do the don't sue me professional equivalent of we have no fucking idea if this works.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sit in this room for 20 minutes and let's make sure you're breathing when we're done.
Yeah, exactly. And I gained 30 minutes of my life. Well, actually, we'll tell that if we haven't already.
Yeah.
But it's got to be better than nothing. That's the basic premise. And it's not so much I got it for me. I just don't want to infect anybody. And not to say that I have it. I haven't had COVID to my knowledge, knock on wood. But that's the thing. You can be asymptomatic and still spreading the disease. So that was really my primary motive for that. But that all said, it's the reaction you're going to have is completely unpredictable.
Yeah.
So, I highly recommend you do get it. I know people are concerned, but again, it's the best thing we got.
Yeah, I think most everybody that I know that work, most of them are getting it. So it's going to be a nicer, experience at work right now when I go back next week.
Yeah.
Because most people won't have to wear a mask,
Well, anti-vaxxing seems to be, I don't know if it's on the rise or if I just see more about it. But again, folks, best I can tell, there seems to be a crusade against education.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just pro-ignorance seems to be the way. But do vaccines have adverse side effects? Yes. Not just the COVID, all that have the potential for adverse side effects. Do they cause autism? No. There's a big difference between correlation and causation, folks, but we're not going to go down that road either. So I'll even give you a potentially. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. No one knows. That's the thing. But the risk is worth the reward. That's the point, you know? And I know, and I do laugh at these things because I can be callous, but I know people that are pro-vaccine will, their argument will be as simple as got polio. And there you go. But that's the point. There are things that, yes, everything that has inherent risk in it. Waking up in the morning, getting out of bed, believe me, it goes bad on me every Monday. It goes bad real quick. But it's inherently dangerous to live. So vaccines, definitely there's a risk of side effects. But all in all, I think it's for the greater good. And that's why I think it's important you get them. Yep. So just throwing that out there for anybody who might care. I'm certain somebody's out there like, who cares what you think, Sean? Probably nobody. But you know what? I've got the forum, so I'm taking advantage, and there's my PSA.
Yep.
We
did our duty.
That's right.
Yeah. I said duty.
So, jumping around here topics-wise, how you been overall? You said the vaccine wasn't too bad?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. A couple days. 5 days of video gaming really helped.
It healed you.
They got me through it, man.
Nice.
Got me through it.
So, okay, well, I don't want to get into that till we get to the what are you playing.
I know.
But, news, I haven't been reading as much. And
a few moments later.
All right, and we're back. That was a weird little break, but, it happens.
It happens to the best of us.
Yeah, the very fancy studio in outer space.
Outer space. I was thinking pigs in space.
Exactly. Yeah, well, last episode was the first time we tried the green screen. This is obviously go number 2.
Yes.
Let us know what you think, and if you have any suggestions, we'd love to hear them.
Yes, and if you prefer the audio version, that's still available.
That's great. That's fantastic. Again, I've been, I really trying not to even talk about politics because I've been reading the news much less.
Yeah.
And I swear I'm better for it.
Probably a lot less stressful and you can sleep better at night.
Yeah, I still skim. I just read much, much less. But one of the things I keep reading lately is and I gotta say, guys, I'm prefacing all of this with I am not a Democrat. I'm not.
No.
But across the country, we have the GOP trying to push just flat out voter suppression.
Yep. Especially in Georgia?
It's just not even subtle. It's just, and the no water while waiting to vote, things like that.
Yeah.
My notes, I wrote seriously.
Yeah.
And do we even know what evil looks like anymore? Do we even agree on what evil looks like?
Yeah, I know.
If you believe in democracy and you're trying to suppress votes, people's ability to vote, you do not believe in democracy. You're leaning more towards communism. So I'm just bringing this up because I got to say, it's infuriating. People screaming, America, red, white, and blue. I am Captain USA. I am Mr. Captain Patriot. And I am so pro-communism with my action, but not my words. And words don't mean a thing, guys. They just don't. So you can scream USA all you want, but when you are promoting communist ideals, and it's just fascism in general, it's just, it doesn't matter what you're saying. You can scream USA the whole time you're doing it. It doesn't change the fact that your principles are closer related to communism than they are democracy. And I'm sorry, democracy is really, really simple. In fact, the Electoral College drives me crazy because, in fact, actually, almost all of it drives me crazy because I'm of the belief that democracy is simple as there's two of us. We could have democratic process. Granted, we might result in stalemates. The three of us would be much better. Yeah. But the thing that drives me crazy are the Electoral College votes because I'm of the belief that if you have 100 people and you have a democracy, those 100 people all have an equal vote. Where those 100 people are located makes absolutely no difference. If 99 of them are clustered in one area and one's somewhere else, that one does not have any more voting privileges, in my opinion, than the 99 do.
But that's not the way the college works.
Because why?
outdated
Yeah.
philosophies when the U.S. first was being built.
Just doesn't make sense. So, but again, the crusade here that I wanted to go on wasn't actually against the Electoral College at this point, even though seriously, but to bring up the point that you can scream red, white, and blue, proud to be an American all you want, but if you are in fact pro voter suppression, again, you're closer to communism than you are democracy, and America is in fact a democracy. And I'd also like to throw out while I'm at it, America, while many of its founders were pro-Christian, America is not a Christian nation at all. Period.
Yeah.
If you're infuriated by that, I'm sorry, this is not a matter of opinion. You are wrong. That's simply the whole concept of this nation is, come on in. We can all live together. We can all work together peacefully and successfully. And it doesn't matter who your God is.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter where you come from. Doesn't matter the color of your skin. I know that's a tough pill to swallow, but not for nothing. Most of you going around here hating this one and that one because of, they're Asian, they're brown, they're a different color than me. Not for nothing. Check your roots.
Yeah.
You're probably not as pasty white as you think you are.
Yeah, I've seen recently on some articles that came out recently, and I've seen before, but every Easter they always come out, and it goes, yeah, Jesus didn't look like this white guy they keep showing in all these
Absolutely
things.
not.
Not even a little.
And it's not my story,
Yeah.
but Jesus was olive-skinned.
Yeah.
Are you eating a white olive?
Yeah.
Are you eating seriously, are you eating a pasty white? I love olives. I'm not eating the white olive.
Yeah. Yep, and you probably didn't have long hair because they didn't really have long. They all cut their hair back then. So.
Okay, probably for sanitary reasons.
Yeah. So, but he probably had a nice little beard, but he was brown. You
Yeah.
know, he was.
I know.
So
I fully agree. I mean, again,
Yeah.
and it's not my fable. It's not my story. And yes, I say fable. And if that's offensive, I'm sorry.
Yep.
My made-up God is just as good as
Yep.
yours.
Yeah, I believe that he was a real person. I think he was the first
I do too.
one of the first hippies,
My problem with Jesus is simple. It's not really a problem. I firmly believe Jesus, in fact, did exist, was a dude.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, if I'm not mistaken, the name was fairly common.
Yeah.
And nobody fucks with the Jesus. But aside from that, I also believe Jesus was the Son of God. How's that?
Oh, that's deep. All right.
Here's the rub. I don't think he was any more the Son of God than you are.
Okay. So
Or any of our listeners are.
Yep. We're all children.
Exactly. And, to me, I think we talked about this before on the show. Is there a God? How the fuck would I know? But I like to believe there is.
Yeah.
But to me, God is the moving goalpost of the unanswered question. And don't worry, when you answer that question, there's 30 more behind it. And 30 more behind that. So on and so forth. But seriously, again, though, if we're talking about taking people's rights, their ability to vote away from them, or making it so difficult that it's not viable, this is not good.
Yeah.
And I don't mean in the general sense good. I mean just like as in good versus evil. This is evil.
Yeah. It's like, and that doesn't seem like the Christian way either. I thought for the most part that they were inclusive.
Well, there's a church that puts up, they have the placard signs out front, and they put up really, really good stuff.
Yeah.
And one of them is that God loves a kind atheist more than he does a hateful Christian. I love that.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
I always find it presumptuous. Anybody, I'll say it this way. Again, I do believe in a God, but if I were to start espousing to you or anyone else about why my God is the God, I've always found that to just be utterly presumptuous. Like, who are you to think you're closer to God than anyone else is?
I know. Yeah, that never crossed my mind in my life that I was like, I don't know. That's a sense of like people think they're better than you because of that. And I definitely don't think I'm better than anyone.
No.
I can never have that superiority complex.
No, and I don't mean to be self-deprecating, but I'm certain I've met human beings where I'm like, wow, you're better than me.
No.
Like in so many levels.
Yeah. Sven. He might be one.
Sven's a hell of a good guy. Yeah.
Better person than I am for sure.
My
If you're out
boss,
there.
quite frankly, boss, Dave, he's quite frankly the nicest human being I've ever met, the kindest human being I've ever met. And on my best day, I don't come close.
My wife's a better person than I am.
I do fully agree with that on both myself and you.
Yeah. Yep. That's true. And I preface that because I've already talked about her tonight.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I try to be a kind human being. I really do. I try to be nice and friendly. I'm not gifted in that area,
No.
but I have hate in my heart, folks. But that's the beauty. I think that is what is good, is the effort.
Yep.
Trying real hard to be the shepherd.
You're trying real hard, Ringo. Did I say that right? I have no idea. I never say anything right.
Yeah, you nailed that one. So on to happier subjects. Spring.
Yes. Spring. Oh, it's nice out right now.
Oh, we live in New York, folks, and it is getting warm.
Yeah, I'm starting to open the windows now in my house.
Yeah.
My thermostat says 72 today. I'm like, damn, that's hot.
Oh.
I don't know why that's so hot suddenly.
Oh, see, that's not hot to me, but yeah,
Yeah.
that 72 is now we're talking. Yeah.
Yep.
But I love being able to be warm and outside, and they're no longer mutually exclusive. I do appreciate that a great deal.
Yes.
So,
I like being outside in small moments.
I was just telling you, but I've got hedges along the side of my house, and when I say I hate trimming my hedges, it is really an understatement. It does not begin to describe the amount of loathing I have for that process. And I'm trimming them once more. However, this is the final trimming. I am cutting them down, and I don't even know what we're putting in their stead, but I'm killing these,
Yeah.
and
So
I couldn't be happier about
So
it.
you wouldn't say you're hedging at your bets right now?
That's fantastic. Well, your other joke was
What?
we're thinking about getting a fence,
Oh, yeah.
and you immediately said,
I don't remember.
"Are you on the fence
Oh,
about it?"
oh, that's true. That makes sense to me. Are you on the fence about that?
So yeah, so we're either way, we're gonna be outside, gonna be doing some stuff. So nice weather, man. Hopefully, wherever you are, you too are getting it.
Yes.
But yeah, you know what? You teased it, and I personally am not opposed to watching you basically commit Harry Carey. So the triple threat wife. Tell us the
Triple threat.
story.
Okay, so I'll start with a story that I think I've told like in the first season. I think it was the first season.
Let's do the recap anyway.
The recap of the story. So I'm going to call this the trilogy.
So part one,
So my wife is
A New Hope.
Yeah, I would say my wife is one of the smartest dumb people I know. What I mean is she's a very intelligent person, and her job is difficult. In fact, I helped her the other day work on a PowerShell script. No, it was not a simple script either. So we worked on it together, but
Your wife is scary smart, dude.
Yeah.
She's no joke.
I mean, I led her down a road that like helped her out, and she just basically she goes, "I got it now," kind of thing. So
Nice.
she
Like
takes
what I
o-
do with you, basically.
Yeah, I got this now. Yeah, in fact, you're in charge of all technical support now. but so what was it? 2 years ago, 3 years ago? I forget how many years ago it's been. But my wife has a older car at this point, and we just haven't replaced it. And no reason to really. It's a 2008 Honda Accord. It's a nice car. It drives fine, great engine.
Yeah.
But a couple winters ago, she told me that she called me up. We met her at her in-laws' house, and I was driving a separate car. And I don't know why I was taking a separate car. It's been so long, I'm not sure why at the time. But she called me up and said, Kevin, oh yeah, I was at home. That's what it was. I was at home, and she called me up. And he goes, I don't know, Kev. There's the car's making this noise and a really loud thunk noise every time I hit the brakes. And I'm like, oh, all right. And she goes, can you come over here? I don't feel. So what she said was, can you come over here and try it out? I don't feel safe to be in that car. But she was okay with me driving the car.
Well, you didn't even notice that fact until you
Yeah,
told me the
yeah,
story, and I'm like,
yeah.
wait. This vehicle's not safe
Yeah, it's
for
not
human
safe.
passengers. Why don't you take
Yeah,
it?
so she asked me to take it. I was like, great. All right. What's wrong with this car? Because, it's going to cost money. So I get in the car. I drove around the block, and I pulled in front of the house, and I just sat there because I knew exactly what was wrong with the car. I didn't even have to look. So I did look. I opened the trunk and saw an empty trunk with one large 25-pound box of cat litter.
That would go thump.
Yeah, it would go thump, especially every time you hit the brakes, because there was like nothing to slow it down. Because it was, it's a carpeted trunk. Things slide around easy, and it was basically hit. And my niece was in the back seat at the time, and she goes, "Yeah, I could feel it like jarring my back."
It's fantastic.
So I was like, "Yeah, the car's safe to drive. Just be careful with the cat litter."
We actually we milked that one for a little while. I do recall telling her to be careful with the cat litter a few times.
Yeah, so that's a joke now. Be careful with the cat litter.
Yep.
So fast forward to this year, part 2 of this story. She was telling me because she doesn't drive her car as often because my car's newer, so she drives my car, and she didn't want to originally because she didn't want to like my car, but she likes my car now better than hers.
Oh, and entirely happened to me. Yeah,
Yeah.
I got a new car. I've barely driven the thing.
Yeah, exactly. So she wanted to drive my car. She drives it all the time now. But every now and again, she has to drive her car, especially this evening when I come over here. So she drove her car a couple months ago, and she goes, yeah, there's something wrong with the car. She goes, the whole dash dark. The fuse must have blown. It's just dark. No, you can't see anything in the dashboard. I was like,
Dimmer?
I was thinking dimmer, but then like I don't know, a couple weeks later, it's at night. She's because she doesn't drive a car very often. We were separate cars again, and I followed her home. And as I'm following her home, I noticed something.
Her lights aren't on?
Her lights weren't on. So I followed her home, hoping the police don't pull over. And then when we get to home in the garage, I'm like, stay in the car. Can you do me a favor? Can you look at your headlights? Are they on or off right now? And she looked at him and goes, off. I'm like, can you turn them on? She did. I'm like, all your dash lit up.
It's funny how that works.
It's funny how that works.
So the moral story of the story here is lights work better when you turn them on.
Yes. So she's been driving around at night with no lights and not noticing that she didn't have her headlights on.
Actually, I did it for 6 months when I moved to Albany.
Oh, God.
When you live in the country,
Oh,
I'm telling
yeah.
you have night
Yeah.
vision and you don't
Yeah,
know it.
you
And
don't
then
know
you
it.
moved where there's street lights.
Yeah.
It's like daytime all the time here.
Mm.
And now I'm accustomed to it. I've been here 20 years. But when I first moved up, man, I could see everything.
Yeah.
And now when I go to I'm not kidding, when I go down in the boonies, I drive by sense of smell. I just know where the roads are. I can't see a goddamn thing. So dark.
And now part 3 of the story.
Yes.
It's not as bad. This is I think more just plain old human error, but I'm still gonna pick on her about it because I don't want her to forget because it was a pain in the ass. So every March, our cars are due to be inspected.
Mm-hmm.
And this particular March, and Charlize has known ever since she's had the car has an issue with it where if you use the seat warmers, you got to make sure it's not on when you're idling, especially when you're only driving a mile between places. The battery starts slowly dying.
Yep.
Well, battery died. And it wasn't, I tested it's not the alternator, it just died. The problem is that if you kill your battery right at the same month that your car is going to be inspected, none of the computers are right. So I took it in, and the guy go, oh, you should have told me. You got to drive the car around a bit. So drive around for a week, bring it back, and we'll give it another inspection. So I said, Charlize, you need to drive it around for about a week. We'll return it and get another inspection. Brought it back in a week.
Didn't
Sorry,
drive it enough.
not enough.
Yep.
Not enough. So we decided to, after work one day, we're driving this car and we're going to go, it's from here, it's Lake George. So we drove 50 miles there, 50 miles back, and that was enough.
Oh, that's great. So you literally just drove to Lake George for the sake of getting the miles.
Yep. We drove, as soon as I put the marker on, the I don't know what you call it, odometer
Yeah.
thing on. And when we hit 50, I took the exit. I think it was Glens Falls to be specific.
Okay, yep.
Turned around, came right back, went back home.
That's great.
And the next day, I took it in, and it was enough. And the guy called me up, and it's the same guy every time at Pet Boys I go to. And he goes, thank your wife for me. Is
That's
what he
great.
said to me.
That's funny.
He's got a
Little
cool
does
guy.
he know.
Little does he know. So, yes. So, the car, again, is safe to drive.
That's great.
You're welcome.
I just love that she's trying to kill you. I love the logic of this is just not safe.
Yeah.
You take it.
Yeah, you take it. Yeah, I know.
You know, that's human nature because, and it took me years, but I trained myself. And with Mick, you need to, but you know when somebody takes a bite of something and they're like, oh my God, that's awful. You got to try this.
You got to try that. Yeah.
I will say no.
Yeah.
It took me a long time to do that.
To do that, yeah, because the curiosity. Like,
Just, they're telling me like, I got to try this. And I'm going to take your word that that's awful.
yeah. Because I remember when the Nintendo Switch came out and they put that stuff on the Nintendo Switch cartridges so children would spit it out.
Oh, yeah.
It's supposed to be the worst tasting thing
Did
ever.
you lick one?
Yes. Because I need to know.
And?
It is the worst thing I've ever tasted.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It tastes bad.
I'm pleased to say.
Yeah.
I have a Nintendo Switch. I have many cartridges.
Yeah, don't.
I have not licked
Yeah,
them.
you're not gonna. Yeah, don't lick them.
No, I'm fine. They're like, it tastes awful.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I'll take your word for
It's
it.
amazing that they. I just thought it was amazing that they did this.
It's clever.
It's clever, so they just make them taste really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not candy.
It's good. PlayStation should do that with their CDs.
There's the whole CDs.
That's awesome. I love that you actually tried it.
Yep.
Keep in mind, though, I had like older sisters, so I know how you test a 9-volt battery on a human being.
Oh, actually, I've done that a lot. Actually, I don't mind that.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's like
that explains so much.
Yeah. My hair gets all bigger.
I've entirely touched an electric fence.
Yeah,
You know, things like that. Oh, yeah.
I've changed outlets in a house with the power still on and zapped myself.
Yeah, I believe that.
It hurts for a couple seconds. It does.
I bet it does, yeah.
It's like,
It's called
oh.
electrocution. It's generally avoided. It's best avoided.
You don't do it over and over again.
One would say you'd learn, yeah.
Yeah.
That is great.
Yeah, it's not the volts, it's the amps that kill you.
Well, anything else going on in your life that's noteworthy? Because sadly, folks, I know it's been like 3 weeks, but other than getting vaccinated, I work for a living.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be going back to the office. They want us at 50% capacity and then full capacity in July.
Nice.
So life is slowly getting back to normal.
That's good. Yeah, a lot of businesses are slowly opening up.
So I'm
it's
happy
tough.
about that. So that's really what's going on. There's nothing crazy. Yeah, nothing special.
It's going to be interesting because a lot of those jobs that became work from home are never going to be. They're going to be remote the rest of their days. So
I don't think my wife's going to go back to work very often. They're selling the building that she's working in now.
Yeah, people are businesses are basically saying, you know what, we figured out a way to do this and not really lose productivity. Why do we need the brick and mortar anymore?
Yeah.
It's kind of fascinating. It's a whole new landscape.
Yeah, it depends. If you're not customer facing every minute, then yeah, you don't need to be in a building.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. You still have places that, there's no waiter remotely working.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way. Plenty of jobs where you'll always have to be there, but likewise, we were getting there anyway.
Yeah.
All the pandemic did was take the next 15 years and make it happen overnight.
I think it'd be cool if waiters was your food. They would come in to your table and ask you what part you'd like.
That's fantastic. A Hitchhiker's Guide kind of thing?
That's restaurant and the universe specifically.
Yep. Oh, I know where you're going. It's great.
Excuse me while I go shoot myself.
We'll live to see, what would I call it? Artificial meat, I guess. We'll live to see artificial meat that is palatable.
Oh, that actually tastes good. I keep trying it because I'm waiting for it to really taste good.
I can't wait because you just need to make bacon. Just make me bacon that is not made by an animal that tastes like bacon, and
you're a vegetarian.
I will make this. I feel guilty, man. I really do.
Yep.
No animal deserves that.
No. Yeah, I know.
I just compartmentalize, but who the hell am I to be killing animals wholesale? You know.
Yeah, I know.
Why do they got to be so delicious?
I know.
But
Buffalo chicken. Anyways.
Yeah, I will entirely go veggie the minute we can make bacon that actually tastes like bacon.
That's
and
true.
if you're that health nut out there that's like, try this tofu bacon, no, it
Yeah.
tastes nothing like bacon.
No.
I've tried it; it's not good. And
Yeah.
that's the thing. I'll try them. But I mean, that is, seriously, what they have now tastes nothing like bacon.
I've tried a lot. Some, I mean, even the ones like I forget the ones I get. That's you could they
Like
don't market. Yeah,
Morningstar or-
Morningstar.
Yep.
I'm okay if it's just a plain veggie burger and it's not even pretending to be a real hamburger.
I love those Morning Stars; they're delicious.
Those taste good, but it's the ones that say they taste like hamburgers that's not there yet.
Yeah, I've tried like the Impossible Burger, and what's the other one?
Improbable burger, I think, is actually one of them. It's like one's impossible, one's improbable.
That's fantastic. There's another one too, though. I can't remember the name of it right this second. But I've tried them, and
Roadkill. No.
they're close. Like you said, they're not there yet.
No, they're kind of weird.
Yeah, they're definitely weird. But yeah, I look forward to it. Boy, eggs are another one, man. Vegans don't eat eggs. I love eggs. Love eggs.
Yeah, I'm okay with fake eggs. I've had fake eggs. They're actually not bad.
I don't know if I've had fake eggs.
Yeah, they make them.
Like the egg whites only?
They call them beater eggs, so they're not
Egg beater. You
egg
mean.
beater. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had that. Okay,
Yeah.
I've had that. Yeah, those are fine.
They're fine.
Yeah, they're actually kind of convenient, to be honest.
Yeah.
All right, well, okay. Well, fans, sorry again. We'll share our lives with you. Doesn't mean we're going to have a lot to share.
No, well, we haven't got into what we're watching and what
Well,
we're
exactly.
listening and what you're.
Well, on that, I'm going to
I could
start.
go on for an hour.
Well, probably not, because the what you're playing section. What are you playing, Kevin?
What am I playing? Well, this weekend, one, I was playing StarCraft 2, and then Diablo 3 had Season 23, and I tried to do it in 24 hours, but
And you would have,
you
except
slowed me down.
Your friend slowed you down, yeah.
So I beat it in 28 hours.
Yep.
And never went to bed.
Yeah.
I stayed up all night long, and then when the sun came up the next day, so it was Friday night, the game came out, then the sun came up, then I went to bed, and then I didn't realize that they were servicing my central air at that moment. So I just got back up and drank coffee and had another finish the gaming that day.
Yep. That's a lot of gaming. And
A lot of gaming.
yeah, I was right there with you for pretty much all of it.
Yes. Except for another game I was playing called Control. It was on obnoxious sale on Steam, $15.
Kevin bought me a copy because he said the sale's too good. You need to have
Too
this.
good. I like the company, Remedy Games. I've always liked them. Max Payne, Alan Wake.
I love the Max Payne series.
They put out one called Quantum something, not Quantum Solace, but Quantum something, Quantum Break, that was kind of weird and didn't get super. It was so close to being a good game, it just wasn't.
Oh, it just fell short. Okay.
And they injected like a TV series in the middle of the game, so they were
interesting.
unskippable.
Oh,
So-
okay. Oh, I see. It's like giant cutscenes. You mean that you couldn't
but
skip?
with real actors, TV show, yeah, the same actors in the rest of the game too.
Whoa.
And it was a neat concept, but it didn't land.
Yep.
So I think this game, they took everything and learned from that, everything learned from Max Payne and Alan Wake, and made this game. And
Alan
this
Wake wasn't bad.
Actually, I liked Alan Wake.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot in the sequel as well. And I think they're going to go. They're going back to Alan Wake again. In fact,
Okay.
all these games are supposed to be like in the same universe too, which is interesting.
Oh, that's interesting. I love the Max Payne series.
Yeah.
They're great games.
They're awesome.
Bullet
So
times the shit.
I'm not going to say what this game is about because one, I kind of saw like a demo, but I didn't really watch too much on it. So I start playing it, and it's like X-Files meets Half-Life 2. It's
Interesting.
So it's a sci-fi brain fuck. It's
The truth is out there.
It is out there. It's one of those things where, in fact, that's how the game starts. It starts like you're in some sort of X-File movie, and you're like panning. The game pans on this cement wall, and you're like, "What are you looking at?" And it turns out to be then it finally pans down, and it's just like a facade to this building, and you got the mental narration going on with the main character,
Mhm.
and she basically walks into the like, FBI building, empty, and then it starts from there.
Okay.
Empty building. What's going on?
Nice.
So, and you end up getting these cool, like, obviously weapons and powers, and it's a shooter when it comes down to it, but it's not like any it's kind of like they added the bullet time in Max Payne.
Mhm.
They add their own thing in this.
Yep.
It's pretty neat, actually. The
Did
thing.
you get your PS5 yet?
No, when I ordered it, my PS5, it said April 9th.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And
So we're getting there?
So
tomorrow?
I looked, and the shipping says there's a delay, so I probably won't get till Saturday. That's okay.
That's awesome.
I've been busy this weekend anyway.
Well, I just skimmed a little bit on a game called Abandon, I think it is, and it's basically you wake up in the woods, you have no idea how you got there, and there's a cult
Yeah.
chasing you to kill you, and survival horror, and I'm like, yeah, that sounds great, but the reason it caught my eye is the graphics look unbelievable.
Mm.
I mean, unbelievably good.
Yeah. That's what because they're pretty high-end video cards in these systems now, because they're the whole ray tracing stuff is all in them, so they're at
Yep.
least the 3000 series video card quality.
Yeah, I was kind of bummed to see it was a PS5 game because I'm like, really? How
Yeah.
am I supposed to cheat like hell?
Yeah.
The cult's gonna kill me. I know how this
I'm
ends.
not gonna make it. I got a feeling I'm not gonna make it.
I'm not bright enough to figure this out on my own.
Jesus. Oh boy.
That's funny.
It does remind me of an old joke. If you woke up in the middle of the woods with a condom hanging out of your butt, would you tell anyone?
I tell everybody, everyone, everywhere.
The joke is usually people say, "No, I wouldn't tell you," and they would say, "Well, good. I got some guys want to go camping with
Want
you."
to go camping? Yeah, exactly. I'm
Yeah,
telling
people use, like,
everyone.
everyone that this happens to me.
I'm saying it on the show, folks.
Yes, I'm telling everybody. So, Jesus. I had a nerve.
Oh, I saw that one coming.
If you know what I mean.
Wow. So once again, though, since I've literally playing-wise
Yeah.
been playing my games with Kevin, so what he's been playing, I've been playing. But it's
Yeah.
once again just a celebration of all things Blizzard.
Yeah, yeah, Blizzard games, and I would say I don't know if I'm getting better at Stargate or not. I can't tell.
You don't know the name of it, so that's
Yes,
something.
it's
StarCraft?
Starcraft. Stargate. Stargate
Yeah.
too. Whatever. I'm not not good at the game at all.
It depends from game to game. Some games I play really well. Other games I'm like, clearly I've never played this before.
Jeez. Yeah, it's an interesting game.
Fun game, though. Yeah, I haven't played with Twitch at all, but I, again, do plan on figuring that out at some point. I think we need more equipment. You'd said some video capture cards, some craziness.
It depends if you want to be able to chat at the same time you're playing it. But if you're just looking just to stream the game...
No, we need a PC. That's what you'd said, right?
Yeah, if you want to be able to watch the chat and chat back with people while the game's going on, you really need a second machine for that.
There's no... See, I've seen people do that, folks. I can tell you I can't do that. Like, that's not even a remote possibility. I can barely control the game.
Yeah, there's some... That's why they're streamers, man. They stream and play and chat and... Yeah.
You know what I say in game? I basically say GG.
Yeah, GG, that's it. Yeah.
That's about all I can handle.
Well, these streamers talk to people, but they see the chat, but you don't see all the chat necessarily. That's why they have a separate screen or a second computer doing it.
Yeah.
So we can.
I've seen those streams too, where like the chat's just pouring in.
How do you keep up with that?
There's no way. Yeah, there's absolutely no way. But I would like to interact with the audience more and show you guys some of what we're talking about here. On that note, a little teaser. I have to figure out a way to get the media to Kevin, but I do, in fact, have a video of the event.
No.
The event being the changing of the windshield wipers and the high-stakes gambling that was taking place.
He slowed down the video.
So, yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to say any more, but, in the coming weeks, we're going to get that up and, for everyone's viewing pleasure. And we're going to go from there.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to that.
I will help you post it.
That's great. So what have you been watching, buddy?
Watching, not a whole lot. I've been watching, there's a new series on Disney Plus. It's a Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Okay.
Boring AF.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about Captain America. Who's Captain America, though? It's not going to be...
It's basically, it was supposed to be the Falcon, because he passed a shield onto him in the spoilers in the last movie. Endgame, but it's not that they're bad actors, and I kind of like Bucky, who plays the Winter Soldier, but the story is just not getting me. It's just kind of boring. So I'm gonna wait a few more episodes and maybe binge watch 2 or 3, see if I can get into it.
Yeah,
it's just not. I wouldn't call it fun.
Yeah,
kind of boring. And then I start not rewatching. I watched like a season and a half of a TV series called Elementary, and I started binge watching the hell out of that show. And man, it's a good show.
Oh, well, you love Sherlock Holmes, so it makes sense.
I like Sherlock Holmes. I like the way he deduces things, but this guy is like one of the most broken versions I've ever seen, and I like that about a flawed human man. This guy is like addiction problems and
that's how Sherlock was, supposedly, right?
But yeah, he did like was it cocaine or heroin? I forget what was his drug of choice back in the books, but that's why I like this version. It's the most flawed version I've seen in the television medium of the show, but it gets me in the feels all the time too.
That's great.
And in this show, Natalie Dormer.
Yeah, I know.
I know
plays.
She
I know her name.
I'd
never come up with it. She's one of those. So
yeah, she's one of those. So Natalie Dormer, she plays Moriarty in it, which is pretty awesome.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So she's a bad guy, which is pretty cool. But she wasn't at first. So I don't know. I kind of like the show. It's getting me, and I'm like, I'm kind of glad it's like 8 seasons. So
oh wow, that's
a
good binge.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to binging all that.
Yeah,
I like it because, like I said, it does get me in the feels. Aidan Quinn is the chief of police.
Okay, who's Sherlock?
You ever seen the movie Hackers?
100 billion years ago, yeah.
It's him.
Okay, the main dude from Hackers.
Who dated Angelina Jolie, because Angelina Jolie was in the movie.
Yeah, I wouldn't remember him because I wouldn't know him anyway because it's been 20.
He kind of looks the same,
years.
but I think he had blonde hair in the movie.
Hackers.
His face is the same though. It really is the same face. So he's British. But yeah, he's the one who dated Angelina Jolie when they.
I like that he's British.
Yeah. No, they didn't have the blood vows.
You had a head shake to it.
He was British. He was British. It's awesome. So I think it's a well done show, and it's not. you can tell you can fall the victim of that, the crime drama where it's like murder, call in Sherlock,
Yeah.
solve the crime, the end. And not every episode's been like that. It's been a little more unique, and interesting episodes. So
Okay.
I say they're not. It's not what I'm trying to say is not. Some episode I would say is formulaic. That's the word I was looking for, but not all.
Yeah.
So they can be very interesting and surprising. It's like, oh, okay.
I love to be surprised.
Yeah.
It's hard though.
Yeah, it's hard though.
I puzzle things. I puzzle things out, and I don't even mean to do it. It's not a choice.
I just like one episode where because he's Watson, who is Lucy Liu, which I actually think she's awesome. She's Watson, Joan Watson.
Okay, love Lucy Liu. Yeah,
Lucy Liu is awesome. So, so that's his partner in the. She wasn't a partner at first. She was a sobriety partner to make sure he stays sober. But now they're partners, and he would just attack her in the middle for no reason and say, "You need to be ready for somebody to attack you."
Oh, that's great.
So yeah, one episode, she just beans him in the head with a ball, and he goes, "You got to be ready."
That's great.
So I kind of like this stuff. I don't know. I think the show's funny and moving, so I recommend it.
All right, Elementary.
And the show ended like 3 or 4 years ago. So
Well, 8 seasons. I love that.
yeah,
I'd love to binge. I swear I don't want to watch anything that's actually on. It just drives me nuts.
that's my problem too. Is like Shirley was telling me some shows were coming out that seemed interesting, some comedies. And I'm like thinking to myself, I watched too many shows that's over in that. Like Zach Braff, I like his new show lasted 4 episodes. I'm like, I don't want to watch a show and then, I want to wait till there's 3 seasons.
Did it
before I get
really
to it.
last like 4 episodes and then they canceled it?
Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome.
It's called Alex Incorporated. I like the show, but I could see why people didn't grab onto it.
Mm-hmm.
So and I like Zach Braff. I think he's hilarious. And
Dude's got great taste in music. I'll say that.
yeah, but the show just didn't stick. And there's some other TV shows that Shirley's said, "Do you want to watch this?" I'm like, "Yeah, season 3. Talk to me."
Gotcha. You know what are great movies, by the way? I think that was Wes Anderson. He does all the weird ones, like Life Aquatic and.
Yeah, he does all those little like weird kind of
Mickles was just watching the Darjeeling Limited again, and I just those movies are great. I do celebrate the entire catalog. They are great, but the music in them is so good. Darjeeling Limited, a great soundtrack.
Yeah. I've been wanting to watch the Life Aquatic because I was told as like Bill Murray. It didn't make any money when it came out.
So good.
But they said the
good.
movie's better than it got. The reception should have been better for that movie. So
I think it's genius.
yeah, so I do want to watch that.
Just wonderful. Everything in they're weird. They're weird kind of humor.
I saw a meme the other day that goes, William Dafoe, and they show real mad and then him smiling next to it, William Defriend.
Yeah. That dude's an actor.
Yeah, he's
that dude's amazing.
He is. I like him a lot.
Seriously, dude, you gotta watch Boondock Saints. You got to.
I feel like I may have, but I don't remember.
Because it's your guy from Death Stranding there. Harold Ramis there? Is that his name?
Who are you talking about? Daryl?
Daryl, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Daryl's from Boondock Saints. That's where I know Daryl from. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
And he plays the shit out of Daryl.
I like that game, Death Stranding, so much. I was watching another playthrough of it. Somebody else play it.
That's great.
I think the game is just genius.
Daryl.
Daryl. Yeah, he's Daryl.
But yeah, like him. He doesn't act. Don't get me wrong. Love seeing him on the screen because he's charismatic as hell, but he plays the shit out of Daryl.
He does. He's always like quiet, reserved, and kind of like, the anti-hero and everything he does.
Yeah, he'll entirely punch you at any given point.
Any moment, yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. So what else are you watching?
That's it. I mean, video games have been taking my life.
I hear you.
Yep.
We watched a show called Billions, and we just got caught up on that, and it is tremendous. It is so good.
Billions.
It's got, I don't even know how to describe the people in it. Did you watch Homeland?
No.
Oh, of course you didn't. It was good. That's why.
I'm not. Sometimes I don't want to watch dramas about, terrorists and stuff.
Why? No, yeah, I hear you. But,
I don't know
no,
why.
it was brutal. It's got,
like, I've never seen 24 either.
I've never seen 24 either. But it's got Inigo Montoya in it. He's fantastic.
Oh, you killed
Wonderful.
my father. Prepare to die.
He's really good.
Yeah, I know of him in that. Yeah.
Well, I don't know how to describe the dude.
Mandy Patinkin.
Yep. I don't know how to describe the dude from Billions then, but okay. Did you watch Breaking Bad?
Oh, that I watch because I
Okay.
can watch a teacher turn to a drug dealer anytime.
Okay, so do you remember they found a video of the one previous meth dealer doing karaoke?
I don't remember that.
Oh, because the guy from that is in Billions, and he goes by the name Wags. He is so good. But yeah, either way, Billions, the whole series, I've loved all of it. And it's got the girlfriend from Sons of Anarchy.
Oh, okay.
And all I can think is stabbing her in the head with a fork all the time because Peggy Bundy did that. So, yeah.
She did, but then Peggy got killed.
Oh, man. Kay Segal. I actually know her name because she's worthy of me knowing her name. That woman's amazing.
Yeah.
Super talented. Would you recommend Sons of Anarchy to someone?
Yes.
I think I would, too.
Yeah.
People didn't like the ending. I was okay with it.
Especially with Fivehead dressed up as a girl.
Oh, yeah, Fivehead.
Fivehead dressed up as a girl.
That dude's fucking amazing, too.
That was awesome. He was awesome in it.
He was great.
Yeah.
That guy's an actor.
Just that alone.
Yep.
Because I call him Fivehead, and I watch a show that
I
he's
call
in.
him Boyd Crowder.
Yeah, Boyd, because it's weird to watch him in the show where he's a widower that I'm watching now.
Yep.
But I like it. And I'm like, but every time I see him, it's Fivehead.
That's great. Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's funny because I saw him in Sons of Anarchy first, but he was so good in Justified. And he was so good in both, but he was so good in Justified that he's Boyd Crowder forever.
He's Boyd Crowder forever.
Yep.
That role was made for him. He had the right accent, the right personality, the right swagger.
Justified, if you haven't seen it, it's phenomenal. In fact, everything Timothy Oliphant ever did is fantastic.
Yeah.
That guy's just great to watch. Doesn't act at all.
Yeah.
But we love him. But yeah, just that guy, Boyd Crowder, though, at one point he was an evangelist, and he did the "Get Behind Me, Satan," and I was like, wow, that is so good.
Yeah.
That is so freaking good. And he just nailed it. The guy's amazing.
It was great.
So yeah, Billions.
All right.
We ran on a tangent there.
Yeah.
But the other one, as you now know, is WandaVision.
WandaVision.
We went into it with, I used your sage-like advice. I said, okay, the first 3 episodes are going to be weird AF. We're not going to know what's going on.
Yep.
And we're just going to have to ride it out. And on episode 4, we can decide if we've wasted our time, if we're going to see this through.
Yep.
That said, first episode, I was
What
watching.
you watching? Yep, I said that immediately. I'm like, what the hell is this? I almost didn't watch the second episode myself. I almost didn't.
By episode 2, I'm starting to see, I see where you're going. I don't know why I care or why I'd want to watch this, but I see what you're doing here.
Yep.
By episode 3, I'm like, fucking genius.
All right.
Just absolute genius, if only from a nostalgia perspective.
Yes.
The commercials, just the attention to detail was just stellar. And I'm not really going to ruin any of it because I know it's still relatively new, but I want to say that it's seriously one of the best things I've seen recently. And
I did not expect you to say that.
it's a surprise. It was it was a good story. And for the record, that you can ask Mick after the show.
Yeah.
I called it. So, like, there were no surprises for me in that.
Yeah.
I said, I think this is what's happening.
Well, I think I called what was happening, but I didn't know who the villain was because I thought it might have been.
Oh, I didn't put together the villain in
Hydra
all
or
honesty.
something,
But
yeah.
I mean, before we even watched episode 1, I said, I think this is what the show's all about.
Yeah.
And, I didn't know. I know I was into comics as a kid. I don't realize how much I know about the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
But Mickles would periodically stop and ask me questions. I can hold my own, apparently.
And I'm a little girl and I watch these things. I get verklempt in some of the scenes in there.
No, I bawled. No, I didn't.
No. That I don't believe.
No, I didn't.
But yeah. No, but near the last episode or one of the last episodes.
Well,
yeah,
there
I
was
think
the
last
one
episode
where,
I kinda
no.
Yeah,
nothing.
no. Now, I'm not going to say what, I don't want to spoil anything, but there's a scene
Yeah.
where you see her, you could tell her heart was just crushed.
There were a couple of scenes where I thought to myself, I bet Kevin cried at this. I'm not kidding.
And chances were high.
It's great.
That's
But
why I
yeah,
text people at work. I go, did you see last Friday's episode of WandaVision? And I would write, I'm not crying, you're crying.
That's great.
And they would respond, I know what you mean.
That's great. For the record, I do bullets. Like I said, Blindside, man.
Blindside, yeah.
I was blindsided by it. I had no idea what that was about.
Yeah, so I'm pleasantly surprised you like WandaVision. So that means I'm one of 30
Yeah.
on recommendations.
Actually, yeah, absolutely. Broken clock theory here.
Yeah, once in a while. I don't think it's one of 30. I think I've recommended other things you didn't hate.
Yeah, well, like I said, too, I hate 99% of everything. So,
Yeah, so it's tough.
But I will say this. It's true. If you have any interest at all in consuming that show, you just got to ride it out, at least the first 3 episodes before you decide. So that's my advice. Either be willing to go to episode 4 or don't even bother.
Yeah.
Because even me, I mean, I'm telling you, I loved it. I thought it was great. Episode 1 was just, what the fuck am I looking at? There was something though that broke my heart because, and some of you may appreciate this. So I'm talking to Mickles and I'm saying, so the Olsen here, is she famous because of her twin sisters, or her sisters who are twins?
Oh, that was on Full House.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Mickles said, well, yeah, that's probably how she got her chance, you know. And, you know, hooray for nepotism. You know, anybody would do it. Who wouldn't?
Yeah.
But what broke my heart about that is, I said, boy, that's got to be a little demoralizing, you know, riding your little sister's coattails. And Mickles said, the twins are older than she is. And my heart, fuck, I'm old.
They are. They are. They are.
It hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
I got hurt feelings.
I got hurt feelings. Tears of a rapper.
I didn't expect those words to come out.
Yep. Those twins are old. I think they're in their late 30s now or something.
None of that's right. None of it's okay with me. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not okay with any of this.
Yeah. But yeah, man, Vision crushed it. He crushed it.
That dude's phenomenal.
Oh,
we still hate him.
He does. You still hate him? Why?
Yeah, I told you last time we hate that guy. Yeah,
what
love everything he does.
Yeah.
He's phenomenal in everything I've ever seen him.
Yeah.
Who's his wife?
Oh, Jennifer Connelly. That I know by heart.
Fucking hate Vision.
Hate Vision.
Suck.
You suck. Oh,
dude's
Jennifer
phenomenal.
Connelly.
Guy is so good at
She's
everything.
my girl. No.
Everything I've seen him in, and that is pure envy speaking.
Yeah, it's pure envy. But yeah, that's pretty awesome. That I think that I think it helped that not that show was that they're both was really good at it, and everybody else that joined in was awesome too.
Yeah, I thought everybody did a bang up job. Yeah.
And so there won't be another series. You'll see them in the Doctor Strange movie.
I thought that was I was wondering if they were going to do another season, because how would they, for one? And it's so rare these days. Everybody's hoping that they get that renewal. Yeah. And so they put that hook in, and it just ruins so many things for me, because I'm like, if you just ended your story, just land your freaking plane. Yeah. And they did that. They put a nice bow on it at the end, and I love that. Yeah,
they could have dangled something in front of you, and they didn't really do that.
They didn't do it.
No.
So, not to mention, we're getting into the...
well, you saw the post-credit scene in the last episode, right? So they did dangle
a little bit. Yeah, I saw that, but I did see that, yeah. And, well, the thing with Marvel, too, is this was the genius of Stan Lee, is... And if anybody's a huge Marvel Universe fan, I'd love to hear this. The problem with comics is the stories are so gargantuan. Yeah. Gargantuan. We're talking 12 stories a month, or a year, rather, for, like, X-Men. Yep. When did the X-Men come out?
I don't know, 60s or 70s?
I want to say 60s or 70s, yeah. So, well, let's say 70s. I think it was 60s, but let's say 70s. Yeah. So we're talking 50 years, 50 times 12. But the thing that made Stan Lee such a genius is all of the cross-promotion. Yeah. You know, so, yeah, the X-Men are great because, well, shit, I can just make a Wolverine series. People like that. I can make a Storm miniseries, and now you got these whole little spin-offs. But even aside from that, now I got Wolverine fighting with the Hulk. And now you got your Wolverine fans reading Hulk and vice versa, and you just see them doing it in the movies now. Now, in order to... Like, you don't want to watch Captain America Winter Soldier, but you need to watch it for that one little nugget that affects the Avengers movies, and so on and so forth. And that's the genius. And my question to anybody, if anybody's out there listening and they're huge into the Marvel Universe, actually I have somebody I might even know the answer. My question is, does the greater story actually make sense? Because I don't think it does. And what I mean by that is, as they start to cross-contaminate over all the years, the storyline just becomes super-duper complicated.
Well, that's why they invented the multiverse.
That's one of the things. And that's the problem with like time travel movies or multiverse or beings that have too much power. Yep. It becomes hard to write. Yep. Without having giant loopholes or just dead-end stories where like they don't put a bow on it, it just abruptly stops. So that would be my question. If anybody's out there and they're huge on the Marvel Universe, you know, from what you've read, because I doubt anybody's read it all, but from what you've read, does it actually hold up? Is there a cohesive story in amongst all that mess? Because I think with all the cross-pollination, after a while, it became more important to make sure Wolverine was with the Hulk than for the story to make sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that. But I don't know. I did think it is fascinating, and I think they've done a really good job picking and choosing what stories to tell on the big screen.
Mm-hmm.
And they've told a cohesive story there.
One of my downstairs neighbors was a huge Thor fan, and I mean 15 years before the first Thor movie.
Yeah.
Huge Thor fan. I always thought that was awesome.
What the first Thor movie was Adventures in Babysitting, right?
Okay, you know what? I take it back. Thought you might go Viking on me there, but I like that even better.
No, with what's his name?
Oh, yeah. Thor.
Yeah, Thor.
I still call Vincent D'Onofrio Thor.
D'Onofrio. Yeah, he's Thor.
I will accept Pyle.
Yeah, Pyle. Yeah, from Full Metal Jacket. Yeah, same guy.
But really, he's Thor.
He's Thor. He is Thor and always will be Thor.
Agreed.
Yeah, sorry. That was the first. So what year did that come out? Like 1988?
Oh, man, Elizabeth Shue. Seriously, you were on my Lifetime Achievement Award.
Yeah.
What did I just see her in?
She just made another appearance in Karate Kid. Oh, she just came back in the Karate Kid series,
She was in The Boys, and she's like 95 years old, and I'm like,
oh, really?
God damn, you look good.
Wow. Yeah. No, she came back and she looked good in the the new Karate Kid TV show.
Okay, yeah, I still haven't watched the Cobra Kai, but people love it.
It's Karate Kid with everybody got old.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it is.
No Pat Morita.
No, no Pat Morita, that sucks. But it's nice that they finally acknowledged who the real bad guy was.
Why do I know Pat Morita's name? Seriously.
Pat Morita, he was awesome. He was in freaking Happy Days.
I mean, I find it funny whose names I know and whose I don't because it's not based on how much I like them by any measure. It's just random.
Yeah, the director didn't want him in the movie because he's like he's a comedian. He's gonna be terrible.
Oh, okay.
And he doesn't even have like a accent. So he put in a tape and he goes, "I can do this," and they're like, "He's our man."
Yeah, nice.
He stole
I
that
love
role.
that Asian comedian from Hangover.
Oh yeah, the doctor.
Yeah,
Dr. Kevin, what's his name?
He's a real doctor too. Yeah, that guy's fucking amazing. He's
I know.
hysterical.
He is hilarious.
Yeah, we were watching stand-ups for a while. I'm gonna have to find this kid's name because we saw one act that I related to so well. I was in tears. I was laughing so hard because the dude's talking about how his girlfriend just goes on and how she yaps at him. And then at some point he's just hitting himself in the face with the yapping. And I'm just dying. I'm like, I entirely get it, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah, I know.
It was really well done. I'll have to look that dude up.
Here, you take the car. It's not safe for me to drive.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Exactly. So anyway, I think we're gearing toward an early show today. But you know what? I imagine everybody could use the break. But I do have a lot of music to talk about. So you have anything? You been listening to anything, buddy?
We've been listening. Oh, I sent you some videos. What was I getting into? Oh, I was getting into Joe Cocker.
Oh yeah.
For some reason, I went down a whole road of listening to a whole bunch of music that Joe Cocker did.
Good for you.
And
I mean,
I'm
bummer,
like,
but the dude's amazing.
Oh my God, the guy got into everything he sang. I don't care what it was. And he had some stuff in the 80s that had like heavy guitar and stuff in it. I didn't like the songs as much, but he still put his life into it, you know. So I like his older 70s stuff and the Woodstock era stuff that he did.
Sure.
He did a lot of covers though.
Sure.
He did a lot of covers. He did a lot of Beatles covers
And it's funny because you know how I feel about that, and that's funny actually. It's really funny. That's a great segue, and you didn't even know I was going to talk about that. But covers are rough for me because they're either one of two things. They're either a great homage to the original artist, and it's keeping their work alive, and for that I salute them, or you know, I'm looking at you, Madonna, and American Pie. Who the fuck do you think you are?
Oh yeah. That song cannot be redone.
Yes, you don't touch. Leave Don McLean alone.
Yeah. He's got one song.
Yeah,
actually, he's got two, I think. But
what's the other one?
I forget what it was, but I heard it, and there is a second one that people do play.
My mother-in-law told me about it. Actually, it's named Winterwood.
Oh, yeah.
I've never heard it.
One other song that people liked at the time,
and it ruins my joke if he had to buy an S for Greatest Hits album.
Yeah,
so I'm not listening to Winterwood.
Yeah, I heard it was good.
No, I'd give it a listen.
I should give it a listen, but. Yeah, I highly recommend Joe Cocker and the lyrics. Yeah, I was just texting you the lyrics from some of his songs. I'm like, that's pretty good.
Yeah, you just started sending me randoms. Yeah, and actually, I got to say, I was very proud of you because I'm like, oh, crap. What Imagine Dragons band is this? What crappy, what Nickelback song are you quoting to me?
It was Joe Cocker. Oh, Nickelback is banned, remember?
Yeah, well, yeah.
I deleted them off all my playlists.
Good for you.
Yeah, they don't exist anymore.
But that was my first thought, and then you send me the link to a Joe Cocker video. I'm like, the boy's learning.
I'm like, yeah, that was deep stuff, and I like listening to him.
I can be a good influence.
Yeah, sort of. So awesome. Yeah, I went to some rabbit's hole, but that rabbit's hole leads down a lot. I mean, I started listening to Sitting on the Dock of the Bay, Otis Redding. I started listening to.
You're creeping me out, dude. Otis is on my list of
Oh,
people
God.
to talk about today.
So yeah, I was going down to Otis Redding. I started going down some R&B stuff, and I was like, I went down to some rabbit holes.
Wow.
Yeah, when I was going that, so it was actually pretty good.
Good on you, dude.
And then what's his name? Who sang No Sunshine?
Bill Withers.
Bill Withers. So I listened to couple Bill Withers because he sang another song, Just the Two of Us. Just the two of us.
We can make it if we try. That's Bill Withers? I never get that.
Yeah, it's Bill Withers.
Oh, that's a great song.
So yeah, he has another song.
Just the two of us.
Yeah, it's kind of like groovy.
Building
It's like,
castles in the sky. Oh, it's a great song, yeah.
Yeah, so he had a couple songs, and yeah, I was going down the whole R&B thing, and because Joe Cocker kind of does an R&B blues, just kind of singing.
Joe Cocker has a bit of that Johnny Cash thing going, like when Joe Cocker sings "Happy Birthday" to you, you want to shoot yourself.
That's true. Yeah, but he does that. Have a little help with a little help from your friends.
I know.
He just took over that song.
It's
he
like,
stole that from the Beatles.
You just covered the Beatles, and not only am I okay with it, it's fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, it's better. I mean, it's the Wonder Years theme song.
Yep.
That version.
That's what I mean, though. It's like a fine line where I have real trouble with these covers, where I can't decide if it's.
Yeah, to do it justice or.
Yeah, if you've just done a great honor or it's complete sacrilege.
Yeah. And I told you there's a song that I like that I knew was complete sacrilege when I heard it, and you listened to it today and like complete sacrilege.
Oh, absolutely, because that was Noah Guthrie doing Ain't No Sunshine When She's Gone combined with a Maroon 5 song.
Yeah, which I liked because he did acoustically and it sounded good. It kind of matched.
The guy's voice isn't bad, actually.
It matched. Even
but,
if...
No, he did make it work. It did fit into the song, but I'm like, dude, not cool.
Not cool. Don't put Maroon 5 with that awesome song.
Like, that's not how you're supposed to use that instrument.
Yeah, I know. Poor guy. I did like it, though.
You're doing it wrong.
So that's what I've been listening to. Like, I would say majority of Joe Cocker mixing with a few other R&B artists that I really got into. Yeah, so.
Nice. Good on you.
And then, so I think I listened to a few Otis Redding songs, and yeah.
Well, shit, I'll start with Otis. So, Otis. I literally just wrote Otis. You should know it's Otis Redding. I only wrote 3 songs. These Arms of Mine, great Otis song. Yep. Hard to Handle.
Oh, that's his song.
Because it's not a Black Crowes song originally. And then, of
Hard
course,
to Handle now.
Sitting on the Dock of the Bay, which for years I did this trick because I'm old, folks. Some of you maybe. And if so, you probably made mixtapes in your day because they were the shit.
Yes, I made a mixtape for you once.
You did? I made one for you. And
of Rush, by the way.
Yeah, mine was almost all dead, I think. But be that as it may.
Yeah.
The mixtapes I'd make, you're all going to be shocked, so be ready for it. They're generally depressing as all hell. So at the end, I'd put Sitting on the Dock of the Bay.
Right at the very end?
At last song of almost every super depressing. So right before I'd kill myself, it'd be like, oh, okay. It's not so bad.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to sit.
Yeah, Dock of the Bay.
So yeah, seriously, if you somehow are listening and you never heard Sitting on the Dock of the Bay, seriously, pause the show. Yeah. Go listen to that. It's such a good song.
It feels like you're in Frisco.
Yeah, it's good. So it's so weird, though, that you picked up on Otis. And on the heading of covers, where were we going? I was taking Mick to get her first shot.
Yeah.
And I heard a cover of Tracy Chapman's Fast Car.
Ooh.
And I'm like,
who do you think you are?
What the fuck am I hearing?
Yeah, because that's her soul in that song.
I love it.
Oh.
I know. And I didn't think I would actually be able to say this. But
you better have seen some shit to be able to sing that.
The singer is, the band is Black Pumas. And I got to say, this dude's got I've only heard 2 songs by him. Colors and Fast Car cover. The guy's got a phenomenal voice. I'm definitely listening to more Black Pumas. I'm definitely digging it. But his cover of Fast Cars is definitely what I was talking about, where he doesn't try to sound like Tracy Chapman, because why would you? She did it right the first time.
Yeah, he can't sound like her.
And obviously, to your point, that's her story. Nobody can really take that one. It can be done. I'm thinking Hurt. It can be done. It's just not easy.
So I could tell that seemed autobiographical, that song.
Without a doubt. But he does an homage to it that is really worth listening. And I even wrote the word sacrilege. I recognize what I'm saying doesn't make sense. But give this guy a listen, because, I mean, really, Black Puma's Fast Car cover, it's really good. And if you like this guy's voice, because I'm telling you, he's amazing, Check out the song "Colors" as well. It's a really good a really good song. And like I said, I'll be listening to a lot more of them as well. So if I find anything more, I'll let you guys know. But what are the odds of that? Maybe I'm just growing. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting wiser.
Yeah. Maybe it's because I didn't recommend it.
Well, there's that. Yeah. I mean, well, there's a whole point system, and
Yeah,
you
yeah.
recommending something
Yeah.
already
Negative,
it wipes 5
yeah,
points off
yeah.
of it before we've even looked.
Damn it.
Actually, on
But
that,
I've been listening to good music lately.
here's a fun one for you, and I find this fascinating.
Hmm.
So, aside from utterly depressing, I'm going to kill myself music, I have a distinct style of music that my ear enjoys. And I would say it's folk to people that asked, but that's not the reality of it. It's also not bluegrass, because bluegrass gets a little too crazy. But between folk and bluegrass, there's something I call hillbilly, like mountain music, or
Yeah.
it's very hillbilly-ish, and I love it. I absolutely love it. And I think I said on the show, I didn't like Zeppelin when I first heard them. I know that's sacrilege, but I didn't.
Yeah.
And then I heard When the Levee Breaks and everything changed. I was like, what a great song. And then I just learned to appreciate Zeppelin. Well, I was in the rabbit hole the other day on YouTube, and I found a dude doing When the Levee Breaks as it was originally written. And I learned a bit about the story. It was the Mississippi River, and, when the levee breaks, bad shit happens because lots of people die because of flooding. And he did that song as it was originally intended, and it's hillbilly as hell, and I loved it.
All right.
So definitely a whole different vibe than Zeppelin had to offer. But yeah, so there's a couple. Under the heading of both fantastic and cheesy. Spencer Davis Group, Give Me Some Lovin'. Great song, I don't think anybody can argue, but it's Steve Winwood at 18.
Oh.
That's what makes the dude so amazing. But his later stuff, man, I love Steve Winwood. Guy's talented. So like Finer Things, great song. Valerie, great song. Back in the High Life, absolutely loved it. Love the song. My wife doesn't like it particularly because if you know Warren Zevon, Werewolves of London was his hit. He, I believe he died of cancer actually, but he died of something. But he knew he was dying. So he made an album. And it's heart-wrenching. And he did a cover of Back in the High Life. And it's just brutal. When you know the whole story behind it, it's just brutal. He also did a song called Keep Me in Your Heart for a While. And again, when you know the context of it, you're like, holy crap, that sucks. But, that's the deal, folks. You don't have to be happy about it. But spoiler alert.
He's a coming. He's a coming.
It's going to be here. So then a couple other bands I want to mention. Band called Spoon, I don't think I've ever talked about. Big fan, actually. I only have 2 songs written down, but I know I like a lot more than their stuff. So I wrote The Underdog, great song by them. And Anything You Want is another song I absolutely love by Spoon. But yeah, check out the band Spoon. Definitely a big fan. And again, going weird today. Got a band called Pinback. And it's funny because the 2 songs I've written, my wife and I love them. And I bet her $1 that she, if she could tell me the name of the band, and she couldn't, even though we both know the songs and love them. It's just one of those bands, and I got to listen to more of their stuff, but Non-Photo Blue is one of the songs by Pinback. And the other I definitely completely liked more, is Good to See, but the C is SEA, so as in the ocean kind of thing. But yeah, definitely worth checking out. On the closer to emo side, in fact, I'd call this an emo band. There's a band I've always liked called Brand New, and they've done again, I'm limiting my list here, and I do dabble in emo on time and time again, to be honest with you.
What a show.
They're angry and emotional. What's not to like?
Yeah, I know.
But I've always loved the name of this song. The name of the song is Okay, I Believe You, but my Tommy gun don't.
That seems relevant.
It's just a great song. And then there's another song.
She, my Tommy gun, she.
Exactly. It paints a picture, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It's like all gangster, like old gangster,
And then there's another song called Simply Jesus. And it's great. It's just fantastic. So yeah, check out Brand New. I'm a fan of them. I really am. They've had quite a few songs I've liked over the years, but again, emo. And then the last one, I may have talked about this. It's actually 2 bands, but we're going to talk about Jason Schwartzman, i.e. Connie's son.
Yeah.
So, it's funny because it all ties together because Jason Schwartzman is in pretty much every Wes Anderson movie.
Yep.
Um,
I know his face very well.
the dude's awesome. I love him. But he is a musician. He's a drummer. And he was in a band called Phantom Planet, did a song called California. I was quite fond of, it wasn't bad. But now he made a band called Coconut Records, and it's just great, great stuff. And just a couple songs, West Coast is one of them, so clearly he's a fan of his home state. And Any Fun are just a couple of their songs, but yeah, Coconut Records, I'm telling you, they're actually good. I like them a great deal. And it's Connie's son. What's not to like?
Yeah.
Or Adrian if you're of that ilk, but you're wrong. It's Connie.
It's Connie.
You touch my sister again, I'll fucking kill you.
Yeah, exactly.
I know he doesn't curse in that scene. I'll still fucking kill you.
Such a good movie.
So good. Yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway, the only other thing I can think to talk about, I got two actually, is one, a shout out. Audrey, thank you for all the support. I know the spreadsheet of expenses, Kevin's been threatening to share that with me because I keep asking him what I owe him, and we need to go over that. But thank you for your contributions,
Thank you.
and for any of who have subscribed, liked, commented, thank you so much, and please keep it coming. We want to hear from you. We want to be interactive here. And on that note, Kevin brought up that it had been a while since we talked about it because our show is called The One Other Thing, and we've never talked about why.
Nope.
And one of the reasons was way back. I don't even know when we did this, but we basically said we're not talking about that until somebody we don't know writes in and asks, what in the hell's the name of your show about?
Yeah, what's it about?
But that hasn't happened. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about this.
Are we?
But look at the time.
Oh, I'm sorry, we've run out of time.
Oh.
Maybe next time.
Yeah, maybe next week. So with that, I think we're going to have an early episode, and I'm going to say, this is Sean.
And this is Kevin.
That's The One Other Thing.
Good night.